voice of women, voice of women, voice of women, 91.7 Hollywood FM 91.7. Almana Hope Foundation, in partnership with Women Radio 91.7, brings you a Widow's Window, where issues affecting girls in our society are discussed. Join Hope Mokosi Saturdays, 6 p.m. on WFM 91.7. A Widow's Window. Give you the widows a voice. So you standing in the middle of the thunder and lightning. I know you're feeling like you just can't win, but you're trying. It's hard to keep on keeping on when you're being pushed around. Don't even know which way it's up. Just keep spinning down, around, down. Every storm runs out of rain, just like every dark night turns into day. Every heartache will fade away, just like every storm runs out of rain.
Hey, good evening. Hello, good evening, our listeners. This is that time of the week that we come to you live and direct from WFM 91.7 Women's Radio. So, our silence has remained a veil on widowhood. The time has come for us to cut the cord so as to unveil the wood. It takes a voice to get the voices to make that change. This is A Widow's Window, the Nigerian First Family Radio Talk Show with widows, where we talk everything about widowhood inside out. Yes, I am Stella David Moyem, and I'm standing in co-anchoring with Lady Hope of Almana Hope Foundation. It's a new month. Happy new month, widows out there. Happy new month, widows. Happy new month, women. Happy new month, every of our esteemed listener. Yes, A Widow's Window. Lady Hope, are you there?
What a coincidence! A new month, and we are talking about rebranding.
Yeah.
Rebranding.
Okay.
So I think it's the best time to starting a new month to rebrand yourself. And let me do a little bit of introduction so I can step aside, man, so that you take over. It's something led to some of the things articles I saw on LinkedIn led to that. I mean, thinking about rebranding, self-rebranding, and that's the topic. I mean, like somebody asked in Facebook. You can join us on Facebook and join the discussion. Like somebody asked on Facebook, rebranding, how is it possible? What is that one? And, when you talk about rebranding, you said it's a process of changing. It's usually used for companies. It's companies and the products we hear about rebranding. But these days, you just realize that you can rebrand everything. We are looking at changing and creating a new look. One of the things, when I try to look at the real definition, the thing that kicked me there that I said that is perfect for widowhood, he said, is in order to create a new look and a new feel. I mean, these two things, it got me when I was trying to read up and find the, apart from the experience part of it. I said, and when I said new look and new feel, because I mean, Stella, let's look at me and you know that I immediately after that after the death, there's a new feel and a new look that presents to you in that widowhood thing. And that new feel and new look is different from the girl we were before we became the Mrs. And it's completely different, and what are the customers trying to do when they now do the rebranding is to give, the organization is to give the client, the customers, a perception. Let them perceive something, and that's part of what, there's a perception that is wrapped around widowhood. So we're looking at that, and we now talk about what is self. Self is self essential being, distinguishing that person from that who he or she is. So, I mean, it's going to be an interesting discussion this period because we're going to do more research and find out. Because even me, when I was trying to that, I just realized that if I knew this thing sometime, maybe I would have been something that I would have been more productive because I've now look at that rebranding says it involves revolving oneself as changing completely certain aspect of their life. So one of the things I announced, when we're going to look about this discussion, because I want to just summarize it so I can get off and you take it over. We are going to look at, so that you can bring it from your own angle. We're going to be looking at it. How do we do rebranding of self as a widow? What should self-rebranding be like as a widow? Why do I need to rebrand myself as a widow? Is self-rebranding an important action that I need to be taking, that I need to take? What is the way, what is the importance of that rebranding? What is the value? And so on and so forth. So, I want us to start back and join you as you continue. Let's start, because when you look at it from the widowhood, once you become a widow, there's a brand new, confused life. So, over to you.
Oh God, Lady Hope, you got me there. Brand new, confused life. Hey, that's a big one. That's a big one. Yes, our listeners out there want you to add your voice to these voices, and also we want to see your comments on. We are streaming live on WFM 91.7 Facebook page and our YouTube page too. Then on the studio, let's hear your comment on 07000 917 917. Yes, when Lady Hope brought this topic, I was like, hey, rebranding. I always tell people that you're first a girl, a lady, a woman, before you become a widow. So then, as you progress from one stage to the other, there's always a branding. But the fact is that when you become a widow, you're still that woman. It's just that something was missing. When in Lady Hope write-up on Facebook, she said when all of us got married, we were like, yes, I'm not a married woman. So many things must change about me. If I was a jumping type, I was wearing one skimpy cloth. No, I'm not a married man. Everybody should see the virtue of being a married woman on me, isn't it? Now, the time has turned, you're now, as according to Lady Hope, confused.
Yeah.
That thing got me. So the truth is that we need to talk about it, especially for the newly widowed, the one that even in the middle, they have not. Do you know that some widow at 5 years they've not found their feet?
Yeah.
They've not found their feet. So we want you to join us on this discussion throughout this month of July on this program. Widows out there, you're going to heal. This program is there to make us heal, to let the society be aware of these silent people, unnoticed people. Yes, another thing that Lady Hope said about rebranding is redefining yourself. You still remain that Stella, using myself as an example, that is still tall, that is still fair, that is still there. But there's something inside that needs to change in you that will make you overcome or conquer everything that has to do with what life will throw at you after becoming a widow. That is what we are talking about today. Lady Hope, you have something to add, please.
Yeah, yes, because what I like is something. I like the way you say it. You're still tall, pretty, fair, and so on and so forth. And one of the things, honestly, when this thing, sometimes I now realize that everything you're doing is a mission. When the revelation came to me, I got confused too. I had to sit back. Believe you me, I had to sit back and say, I didn't really rebrand myself. And one of the things that hits me, I know there's one young widow. She's a big time person, a celebrity, one of these. But when that girl, I'm sure she did a rebranding. Because when I know somebody that knows, I don't know her very well. It's a pretty young girl that just got married, and all of a sudden the husband died. She took away. I will see if I can chat her up and see if she can give me audience. Let me learn some 1 or 2 things for her. But she took away and really rebranded herself. And let me be honest with you, when I started seeing the way she was rebranding herself, I wasn't comfortable with it.
Okay.
I haven't seen this thing today, but today she's a well-behaved, running her business, running everything very, very well. She has carved an edge to herself. But when I saw her then, I felt as she was overdoing it, and that is where that culture thing comes out. Because she took a time, after mourning her husband, she starting from her look and her personality and her sight and everything she was doing, you could see that there was an intentional action
intentional
of rebranding herself.
Okay.
And believe you me, it's paying out good way for her. Because I know I'm not her friend because I'm not her mate, but I know people that knows her, and she's making good life for herself. Let me. Do you understand? I mean, am I making sense?
Yeah.
Then, and that's the thing. Because like the woman that asked on Facebook, how do I rebrand myself? I would have asked that question years ago. But when this thing came to me and I looked, that girl was the first thing that flashed my head. And I said to myself, that is the reality. Because that is, I think it is that in that rebranding that you will now make up your mind to be intentional about removing the morning thoughts. When I mean removing not the physical, but the spiritual, the emotional, the feeling, saying to yourself, come on, this is my head. I have to leave.
Yeah.
And let me get you.
Okay, yeah. This rebranding stuff, when we look at it critically, it starts from who you were to who you want to be. Now, in that confused state, so many of us at the early stages, we just want to die. Let me use the word. We don't want to live again. We don't want to live again because we see ourselves as the cost, the unfortunate. And we find out that some people take time to come up. Some people just want to be in that a shell, not wanting to come out. So this topic is for as many widows that are out there, newly widowed, middle widowed, or whatever I will call it.
Including me.
Including.
I am going to take a very intentional reminder. Because let me give you an example. Because when I talked about a reminder, I tried to look. Rebranding. You talk about your profession, your appearance, your interest, your friends, your hobbies. These are things that you have to sit down as a widow. And Stella, you know that these are really that even if you didn't have to rebrand, they didn't rebranded you.
By fire, by force.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. We don't have much time, but our listeners out there, we want you to add your voice to it on 07000-917-917. You know why? Because it is glaring that this man will never come back again. It's glaring that I have to take all the decisions myself. It's glaring that either I live or I die. That means take care of your health, mental health, physical health in every way. It's glaring that I must live. It's glaring that these children, without me, if I'm not there, these children, they will lose both parents, and it's not be good for them. So those are the parameters that one should sit down and look at. Personally, when I had my loss, mine will be like 6 years next month too. When I had the loss, this person, I was very, very big, very, very big. I was on like 22, 24. Did you get it now? So knowing that this man died because of health-related issues, I started doing research on how to live healthily. As you said, you used a word, intentional, about it. And I told myself, I got to live healthy for these children. And I'll tell you, believe me, now, I look much, 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 much younger than I was when he was alive. Because I was intentional of rebranding my health. Because I know how to live well. Not living well, I have to live in health to move on. That is one part. So, listeners out there, we're going to, for this whole month, July, we're going to look at different aspects of life you're going to rebrand. But you have said it in your career, in your relationships.
Yes, exactly.
in your career, your relationships, your family line, and your personal development is very key, because the truth is that nobody will live your life except you.
Yeah.
Nobody will rebrand you except you. And anyone that is coming in to rebrand you, if you don't take your time, the person is going to suck you. So for you to stop it,
No, the person is not going to rebrand you. The person is going to make you him or her.
that is the word. Make you. That's in this we don't do two things. Either you take your meditation about who you want to be, or you walk in somebody else's shadow. You walk in the shadow of the community around you. You walk in the shadow of how people want to perceive you, how people perceive you to be. See, please join this discourse on 0709117 Lady Hope, let's hear what you want to add, please.
Yeah, because when you said personal development, I was just thinking. I think personal development. Which one of the self-rebranding and personal? Which one should be inside each other? Because you now look at you can't personal development. Is it rebranding that is inside personal development, or personal development is inside rebranding?
No, personal development is inside.
You can see that the two of them has to go hand in hand. Whichever that is on top.
Good.
One cannot exist without the other.
Yes.
But like you said, I liked the example you gave. That your health rebranding.
Yeah.
That is a key thing. I'm glad. These are things we are going to be telling ourselves.
Yeah.
That is the truth. I have a friend too. She's big when the husband died, so she had to move. When she moved out of the water, very good friend, and moved towards my place, she went from, I don't even know, I will call her and find out the exact age. That time there's a gym club in Allen, because we were living around there. She won the prize for 3 years, and everybody was giving me accolade that I was the one that
encourage her.
That encouraged her.
Yeah.
She went from size. She must have gone from size 28 or even
28
to 20. Yeah.
Wow.
Even me saw it. I was shocked with this drastic change, and that's a good point. Because, like I said, when this thing came to me, it was for the past 2 nights. It has been giving me some sleepless night. I don't want to use the word. More research inquisitiveness.
Yeah, concerns. Yeah.
Concern, especially using 28 years back ago in my life. The various thing, because I made one statement. If you do not rebrand, I was rebranded by the rebrand itself. I didn't know about rebranding. Maybe if I would have been intentional.
Yeah.
Because this young lady, I'm telling you, it was obvious that she said to herself, I have to rebrand myself. And she rebranded herself, and she came out perfectly so well.
Awesome.
And that is where it's the profession. And when I looked at the various parts of, and I said profession, one of the rebrand I didn't even do it, the thing they branded me, is the profession. I knew that time, I had an opportunity to get into the banking industry. I knew I'm a teacher.
Okay.
But I could not, because I was, the responsibility of doing school run and all those things and so on and so forth did not scared me. Not that I didn't want to, scared me and curtailed me from not. So I stayed with the teaching. The only thing I did is I added a whole lot of other businesses around it, and that's where we are talking about that rebranding. In true, your interest has to change.
Yeah.
Your appearance has to change. And that is when we're going to look at it one by one.
Yeah.
Where do we now strike the balance?
Okay.
Because when the young lady started it wasn't that she was doing anything extraordinary. She doesn't even know that I'm behind me drinking Panadol for her own headache. But I was scared. And if I think back of that, I was scared. It was based on what culture subconsciously taught me to expect from such person.
Yeah. Now, there's something that came to my mind. Okay. Oh, Lady Hope, Stella, you're talking about rebranding. What if I don't rebrand? What will happen to me? That's one question that came to mind. Maybe somebody's asking it out there. You lose time. When you lose time, I always tell people, time is life. When you lose time, you lose life.
Mhm.
So we are telling you, recover that life back and be intentional about it.
Yeah.
Please add your voice on this 070917917. Why are they talking about rebranding in widowhood? Babes, I used to call us babes. It's a little like lady of lady. The truth is that if you don't rebrand, if you don't know this on time, you will lose time. And when you lose time, you are losing life. And we don't want it for you.
Yeah.
As Lady Opa said, these things she knew. All these things she's going, she knew them 28 years ago. She will be far, 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 far better than this. In taking certain decisions.
Excellent.
So we need to talk about it. Call your friends every Saturday, 6 o'clock to 6:30 on WFM 91, and follow us on live on our live stream on Facebook. Let's talk about it. Talk about your experience. What were you doing before? When you now entered into widowhood, you had to just pull out so that you can move faster in life, so you can gain time, so you can gain opportunities. At times if you don't rebrand, you also lose opportunities apart from time.
Yeah. It's not. I mean, losing time is losing opportunity. Losing time is losing opportunity because I would try and reach out to that young lady and see if she would do it. Because when all these things they are saying, I could see I'm stretching my eye far more to see if I can pick people that you can see from what their life has become that they intentionally rebranded themselves. Because what I say is that you just find the person, because that is the point that you can say to yourself now, what is it I wanted to be? There's nothing wrong about it. That, let's take for example, I wanted to be an actor, and and now you remember I was called. I had a friend that the husband was a good producer in those days, and the man, when they just said, "Oh, your turn, come and do," because of that. I wanted it. It was. I mean, if you look at my life, you can see that part of thing would have been part of my life if I didn't start too early to be conscious of motherhood. But when I went to the Man and the Dragon, I remember it vividly. I went for I did 1 or 2, 3, 4 seasons with them. Trying to, but I couldn't continue. Because of what I think and because of what somebody said. I wanted it, and now I remember. I wanted it. A very good friend of mine was like, I'm always using my language. That is it, that I just want to go nuclear. And
that is what you really wanted.
Which is what I didn't want. I mean, it was fun. It was something I wanted to do into acting and so on and so on. What's this girl's name? We met on the scene and everything. But when you see where that intentional knowledge of this and being intentional of the action will help you produce and rebrand yourself, not what everybody is.
Exactly.
Because I was not informed about this, I could not rebrand. I had the opportunity. Because the reality is this, let's face it. Most of us, especially some of us that married too early, we had dreams, but because of the way we were nurtured and everything, when we got married, we became mothers and shot that dream.
Very true. Very true.
One of the first things that a widow should learn when it's rebranding is, what is that you that has always been
before,
that had to pause motherhood, isn't it? And for husband, because some of them, it is the man that said, okay, no, you can't go this way, and because you are into that way. So, and you are going that way, and you're grumbling, you're not so happy, that you're just living it. That is living
his life,
living his life, or the life that you people have decided to make. And now that you have the opportunity, but now life has given you another chance to learn,
live your dream,
your life yourself. I think this rebranding is a good discussion, information, and a good knowledge to expand. Over to you.
Now, let me come in. There's this widow. We got talking. We are in different widows platform. So we got talking. I got some things from her. Then she was like, I said, you're always quiet on so and so group. She said, yes, so I have to be quiet. I have to do so many things. So, but they're always calling me to come in to do this, to do that. I just told her straight. I said, nobody will call you if you don't build your brand and raise your profile. So rebranding itself makes you to have that attention that will lift you higher.
Excellent.
Because if you don't rebrand, everybody will leave you where you are. It's people that are working on their brands, lifting up their brand that people will look up to and to learn from. You don't get it now. Look at okay, let me hear you.
Because I like this, I will continue to refer to this person because even as I'm saying that, I'm going back to the years and I'm seeing the metamorphosis of when he started the rebranding because she knew what she wanted.
Yeah.
And if life has thrown her this opportunity, or I'm trying to be careful so that people will not
say
life has made it to her this way. She sat down and began to put one by one step who she is. And it took time.
Yeah.
But in time, she became what she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she became what it is.
Wow.
It's a good topic. And I if you're listening out there and it's believe you me, I genuinely think deeper. There's a deep thing in me that is saying, like Stella said, you lose time. Because somebody will say to me now, that it's not late. I see so many people. In fact, let me use an example. When I talk about remarriage, people will not tell me. I said to them, if I knew back then what I knew now, they will say it's not late. It's not late for sure. But I could have done better earlier. You understand what I mean? I could have done better earlier. And then, especially when I even had suitors. Good, I could have done that now. It's not late. But it's not. So many other things that have been an obstacle to it.
Yeah. So, our listeners out there, readers out there, let's look for the word rebranding in our innermost. What do I need to rebrand? What are the parameters? My personal development, my health, my both physical, mental, emotional health. Did you get it? My career. Okay, my source of income. What am I doing now that I can do more of rebranding and get where I want to get to without saying that it's one man that is doing it for me? That is what we're talking about this July. We want to make this the remaining half year, worthwhile as a widow, so that you can stand and say, by His grace, I am standing tall. By His grace, that which was paused in my life, I'm now able to stand and take decision and come out with good result. We have so many examples. Personally, I have so much. If I just give you the first one of my health. If you know me back then, they see me now. Even some people will say, it's like only time that a widow looks better when she has lost her husband. They don't know that is the rebranding we're talking about.
Excellent. And if this person I'm saying is part of the things you can see from the dressing, from everything, she must have intentionally decided to rebrand herself because you can see that her own was progressive. You could see that it was intentional. What of us that did not do it, that the thing has to rebrand us? That is why we cannot see
a tangible. Before Lady Hope laugh it out. Now, different aspects of branding we're going to discuss, and most importantly, I told us, they don't mention one, be intentional. Because when you are intentional in these progressive steps, you will see results as you progress. And how do you start to be intentional? Write your goals. As Lady Hope said, it's never too late. Write your goals. And starting this November, what part of your life do you want to rebrand? Even you're not talking too much, or knowing who to talk to is part of your rebranding. To know who you say things to who mentors you, to who you associate with. That's what we talk about relationship. It's going to be part of your
interest and your friends. These are part of what you consider when you're rebranding.
Yeah. Your hobbies.
As an example, even in relationship, because we don't like to put mouth inside that. If you're not said to us, if what I wanted was this, and for one reason or the other I got this, because the reality is that you can be a young person, but you wanted it to, but Dele came because he's a nice person and everything, wanted it to do other, you didn't even know what happened. You now fell in love, and they got married, or even fell out of love, but you got married. when eventually the thing happened, this is the time now that you can set your goal, sit down and rebrand yourself, and position yourself to get that thing.
Yeah.
And then with prayers and hard work and focus, because what branding does is that it will keep you focused.
Yeah.
I will always use myself as an example. Maybe because if I had rebranded, I would have been more focused. Because and the American now says branding again is it will shock, because I did business. I go to Abuja, I chase contract, and I was getting a handful. But because I was scared, the bread on the paper, you know, that kind of thing that just said, the bread at hand was me. Every day, in fact, that is the only thing I teach my children, my daughters especially. If you have to move immediately, because time, like you will lose time, like you said.
Yeah.
Because I was so scared, but I know that if I stopped my teaching and chase business,
it would have been
most
better.
Most of the time, I would chase the business to certain 60% a result. And because I had to go back to my classroom and everything, and I'll go back, by the time I come again, I will start all over.
Wow. Okay, let's see. Next week we're going to continue. We're going to give you details on how we're going to go through. But for this week, for our listeners out there, our widows, please write your goals. Let's start there. And tell yourself, I will not waste my time again. I will not miss my life again. So it's a wrap up. Lady Hope, let's hear you.
Well, the reality is this, the truth is, why we are talking to widows, because we are trying to, any person, especially women, women, the life have given us, projected is in a way that we post so many things to fulfill expectations. But if you ever have an opportunity, even without opportunity now, I think this rebranding, sitting down to say to yourself, to rebrand yourself, starting from your profession, starting from what you do. If you have to pause and start all over, do it, because is my language. It means today is early enough. Thank you.
Good. Yes, be intentional. You can start today. Enjoy a pleasant evening. See you next week. Or listen to you next week. Thank you.
So hold your head up and tell yourself that there's something more. And walk out that door. Go find a new rose. Don't be afraid of the thorns.